has been a minute. I honestly tried to record this a couple times, but we are here and we're doing it now, and honestly I just feel like really called back into it, and just for fun. New version, new journey of life, and yeah. I didn't want to just like jump into making videos and not being like where I've been. Not that it actually matters, but I also feel like this has always been like a documentation of my life, and even just like for me to look back on. So I feel like this would just bring it all together. Anyways, this is just gonna be a little sit down, and then I'm gonna do some other style videos to come. Also, I drink coffee now, like what? I really feel like there's just so much to share, and I'm just gonna try and keep it quick, simple, to the point. Also, all the things that maybe I haven't shared, like maybe if you follow me on Instagram, you might know, you might not know. Maybe I've shared a little bit, but I thought I would just kind of like recap this past year, because it's been probably a year and a half since I've created a YouTube video, which is crazy. Not that I've been like super consistent with it, but I was when I was competing. And then after that, I was like still trying to navigate life, still trying to navigate my journey. It's definitely been hard, and I feel like I was hit with a lot of things in the past year and a half. And it's been like good, it's been hard, it's been a blessing, but yeah, it's brought me here. So to go back, honestly, I'm pretty sure the last video I posted was my gut protocol, and that was probably the end of 2024. So I didn't really share much of this. I did a little bit on Instagram, and I still do, just a little bit. It's obviously like very, very personal, but it's something that like I'm going to continue to share because it's really, really close to me. But I did have a really, really close family member unexpectedly pass away, and to say that that changed like everything, like that wouldn't be enough, you know. It really did. It really put like so much into perspective for me. That was like a huge part of things that ended up changing the next like year and a half. So that was like the summer of 2024, and I was dealing with that. I mean, since it was so unexpected, it was just like a lot of things in my mind were just like, didn't make sense. Like life didn't make sense. I wasn't angry necessarily. I very much believe that she is in a better place. I believe she's in heaven, and I believe I will see her again, and I really do believe she's at peace, and like this was the best thing. But it was very, very hard to just, you know, one day like somebody's here and you're talking to them, and then like the next day they're not. You know, we literally got to share the last moments together, and I think that that can also be very difficult to navigate after. It was something that I like relived in my head for a really, really long time, but I think I just like live very differently. And from that moment, I didn't want to live with any regrets. I didn't want to leave anything left unsaid. I feel like that's where I was like, okay, this could just unexpectedly happen. I don't want anybody to know or to not know what I have to say, how I feel, how important they are to me. I want to make time for those things. I don't want to just only focus on like these areas of my life. Like life is so much more than just one thing, one goal, one body. Like it's everything. And yeah, that just like really, really solidified that for me. And after that, and going through all those like emotional, mental changes, and just like living very different, like a lot of things became very known to me, that this is for you and this is not for you, or this is something that you have to do, this is not something that you have to do, this doesn't make sense, but this is the path that you need to go, you need to listen to this. And I did, right? Like I feel like there were so many times in my life, honestly, just growing up, like my whole entire life, that there are things that have not made sense that I'm like, you need to do this, and you're also like forced into it. And I really believe that that was like God in my life being like, move, like you need to do this. And it didn't make sense, and honestly, like I was gonna say it didn't make sense till after, but sometimes it like still didn't for like months and months, and sometimes some things still don't make sense. I'm like, but why for this long was this happening? Why was I doing this? But life is honestly just a learning journey, and we just like, that's it. That's literally all that it is. We just learn and grow and evolve. And yeah. So after that, in a lot of the learning changes and stuff. As you may know, I went through a breakup, and I did not share it that much. Honestly, it was just really tough. It was like another thing. It was like another person that was just in my life every single day, just wasn't there anymore. And that was a whole nother thing to navigate, especially because we were together since like we were teenagers. I feel like I just didn't know how to share. I felt like it wasn't fair to share. I felt like it's somebody else's life. It's, you know, I chose to put parts of my life on social media, and I didn't think that when I was sharing parts of my life on social media with that person, I never thought that I would be sharing my life without them. So that was just like a weird thing to navigate, and it was also hard because I didn't want anybody to know, in the sense of I didn't want to have to explain. I didn't want to have to I just wanted to move on. I wanted it to be over. I didn't want to hurt anymore. I didn't want to talk about it, but then I also didn't want to hurt anybody else and talk about anybody else. And so it was like a very, very hard thing to navigate. And I definitely feel like I'm at a point where like I can share it, but I also know like my boundaries of there's still another person involved, and like they didn't sign up for that. Like they didn't sign up for anything to be shared. So I feel like that's kind of enough. I have all the love in the world for the other person and truly want the best for them. And I feel like that's all that I can say, you know. It's hard because you go from doing every single thing every single day together, and you know every single thing about them, and then to think that now it's been over a year apart, and you're just like, I wish I knew these things. I wish, you know, like healing is a crazy, crazy journey, and it's also like a part of life. I honestly thought that I never would go through that. If I'm being completely honest, I used to judge people a lot for like, oh, you can't get over this, like whatever, you know that's not meant for you, or like, or what, there's like somebody better coming, or you know what I mean? I guess I wasn't in it, I didn't understand it. And so then when I finally did, I was just like, wow, the compassion that I have for people, I did not realize like a heartbreak was real. Like it could literally like ruin everything, your health, all of that. Getting into that, my health took a huge, huge decline. I was not eating. I would get up, I would go for like a long walk, I would start work, I would literally work up until like 5 o'clock, maybe a little bit earlier, and then I would get ready and go to the gym, and then I would eat at like 7 o'clock at night, and then I would go to bed. So like, great, okay, I was getting in a meal. I probably did that for like a month, and I was going and staying with my sister, which was so good to like have community immediately, right away. Honestly, it was like right away that I went to stay with her, but like I was just like not eating. But then like being around her in that environment, it did help me a little bit more. It was just a struggle for a long time, and it was probably 3 or 4 months. It was probably like this time last year that I was like, you need to do something about this. Like, you can't stay in this spot because you've already like hurt your health, you've already hurt like your metabolism, you worked so hard to get to where you are. I lost a lot more weight, muscle, like that was the biggest thing, and I'm like, you worked so hard to get here. And I also had like hormonal things I was dealing with even like before that. So I'm like, you just made it all so much worse. And I knew that I was doing it to myself. I also believe that there is like a coping, and everybody does it differently. And like, I needed to do that. Obviously, like I needed to, and I also needed to have that realization, like, hey, you need to pour more into yourself before you can pour into others. And so from that day forward, I was like, hey, I'm going all in on this, and like have increased my intake since, and probably am up like 25 pounds since then. Yeah, probably. So about a year, I've gained like 25 pounds. That's crazy. I should go make a side-by-side picture for that. That's what I always think about. Like, why does my brain go there? But it does. And last year was still a ton of navigating that, because it was ins and outs. I feel like there are breakups that just end, and then there are some that like end and then they like try, and then it's just like an even bigger, well, I don't even say like bigger, but it just like, then it hits a point and it's like done. And so I did a lot of traveling last year, a lot of traveling, which like I feared so much before, because I was like, I don't want to be out of routine. I don't want to be like, out of routine is just like hard for me. It's hard work wise, even though like why? I can work from anywhere, but like it's hard for me work wise because I want to be able to just like wake up, like do all my things, right? And then food wise, workout wise, you know what I mean? It's a lot, and it's like a lot for my brain. It's a lot for like my stress, anxiety, all of that. And so I just wouldn't do it. And then when everything happened with like my aunt breakup, I'm like, okay, you know what, you need to do like everything different. So I was doing everything different. I traveled like every single month. I was looking at moving, I was looking at getting a place in Tennessee, all the things. And then I remember it was like summertime. It was August. It was around my birthday, and a lot of things hit me like at once. Like one, I was kind of in this in and out, like trying to get back with my ex, but then like he wasn't really there or like in it. But like neither was I, like it wasn't the same, you know, and it was like very different, and we were changing both like very, very quickly. Then I had like some really close friends. They were going on a trip, and it was my birthday. And then I also like was trying to decide where I wanted to move, because at that point I was at my mom's. I was staying with my mom in Florida, had all my stuff in storage, and was just kind of like figuring it out. And I really thought I was gonna like move to Tennessee, or I thought I was gonna get a house in Florida or something like that. And then nothing was like making sense, and I'm like, why does this feel so hard? Like I know that it's hard to like figure those things out, right? Like moving, figure out where we're gonna get a house, figuring out even just like where you want to go live on your own, right? Like I hadn't lived on my own since I was ever actually, because I grew up, lived with my mom, then went to college, and like lived with a roommate, then lived with my ex, then lived with him up until that moment. And so then I literally did not know what to do, and I was one of those people who said I would never live alone. So a lot has changed. Then it was, my friends were going on a trip. It was like literally right after my birthday, and I'm like, okay, I need to go on a trip. Like I need to get out of this. Like nothing makes sense. I feel like I'm stagnant. I feel like in this limbo. And I booked a trip, and I went back to Tennessee. I went to see a friend and just kind of like hang out for the weekend. And then from there, it was in Nashville, so it had a lot more direct flights than Tampa had, which is weird. Or did I go from Sarasota? I don't remember. Anyways, I had a lot more direct flights, so I was looking at going to Montana, whatever. I'm like places that I haven't been, and I ended up going to San Diego. And I had only gone in the beginning of last year for like a day. I went to see a friend in LA and only got to come down for a day. And so I'm like, you know what? I want to go back. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to go for a week, be able to work somewhere. Like, where do I want to work for a week? It would be so nice. Let's do it. It was like a few days in it that I'm like, wait, I could live here. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, that's crazy. Like, I would never live here. I would never move to California. I honestly thought of California as just LA. Like, I had only visited LA, and I just thought that California was LA, and I'm like, nope, I'm not an LA girl. I'm not even like a California girl. And I was like, there's literally no way. But after my aunt had passed, I'd been seeing tons of butterflies, honestly, before she passed and then like after she passed. And when I was here, I kid you not, like I would go on a walk and they would just be like in my face. They would be all over me. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, is there a butterfly season? Is there something happening with butterflies right now? Like it made no sense to me. But I was like, something is so comforting in it. And also this was one of those decisions, like my breakup was this decision, this was this decision that I'm like, there's something in my gut that's telling me this is what you need, but like I don't know why. Like this doesn't make sense, but like this is what you need. So that happened just like a few days in, and I remember messaging the person for the Airbnb, and I was like seeing if I could extend it a week to like look at apartments and whatever. And I was like, okay, if it's $500 off to stay an extra week, like I'm doing it, right? Literally $500 off. Like how does that happen? So then I stayed another week, looked at places, like loved some places. I looked at like 8 in 2 or 3 days. And then I get back home, or get back to my mom's on like a Sunday, and then Monday I like applied for a place, decided, and then already set up a moving company and moved like 3 weeks later, literally 3 weeks later. All my stuff was in storage, like I could do it, I was ready, and it just like felt so right. And I'm like, why just sit around? You know what I mean? Like, why think about it more? Because people were like, oh, because it was like October, like why wait till the new year? You know what I mean? So we did it. Your intuition speaks to you, and like you need to follow it regardless of what it is, because like in that moment it was like it felt so good, and it still does. But like obviously like my breakup and other things that have happened forced me to do that, and I don't know why. I mean, I do know why now, but like in those situations didn't know why, but like it forced me to do it, and it sucked, but like it gets you to where you need to be. And like that's the same thing, even like moving. Like I said, I never thought I would live here, but it's been such a blessing. And honestly, all of these things have been such a blessing. But we are here. We haven't dieted. We're not competing anytime soon. Honestly, I miss it so much. I just miss that grind, but I'm still trying to fix my hormones. They have just been so down-regulated since like my eating disorder, since competing, since like my breakup and not eating, and just like the waves of extremes that I have gone through and put my body through, and just like the mental, physical stress that I put on my body. So we have started to pick up running though. I've ran one day, so like saying I'm starting to pick it up is not really like facts, but like we're started. Like it felt so good that I want to continue it. I'm so sore today, but we're gonna continue it and see kind of like how that goes. I just like really want a different goal, and yeah, I mean, I'm in San Diego now. I love it here. I really truly love it here. It sucks that I'm like far away from family and stuff, but they've already come to visit. I got to go back for the holidays and all of that. Met some really good friends here, which is amazing. Like I love my gym here. I love the beach. I love the mountains, like the air. I love it so much. But I also feel like the person that I am now is like why I can like be here and love it, right? Like I just don't think that I would have a year ago, 2 years ago. Like I feel like I literally needed to go through those things in that order, exactly how it was to get here. And I still feel like this is a journey. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still evolving. Like who knows what's next? Like that's the coolest thing. Like who knows what's next? But I felt like I wanted to just do a little recap of like things that have happened, where I've been, who I am now. I'm still the same me, but I just like do things differently. I've done a lot more things. I am honestly thriving alone, but I love my friends and I love like the relationships that I've built here and everything. And I feel like my relationships are like so much stronger, which is amazing. And I don't think I could have made friends like this or relationships like this without going through things that I've gone through just recently. So grateful for it all. But I'm so grateful to also like be here, be like doing what I get to do, be able to move, be able to do these things and make these decisions. I can't wait for what's to come. I feel like I've started to let go of some control that I've really needed to in life, but I also think there's still so much that I'm learning. I've hired like more coaches. I have a life coach now, a business coach. I am my own fitness coach. Like I've always had that, but like it's nice to just be able to continue to grow and like have those people to learn and grow from. It's been a journey, but like I said, I'm so excited to be here and excited to also take you guys along this next journey, because I know that I will be setting new goals, new milestones, and just to show what life can look like post like losing somebody, losing multiple people, breakups, your health. Like I would love to just kind of show into like rebuilding my health even after 10 years in fitness, 5+ years as a fitness coach. Like I'm even like redoing this myself, like post 2 years bodybuilding. Like what does that look like, you know? I hope you guys want to come along, because I really like where I'm at this season and like who I am and who I'm becoming. I feel like looking back, oh, I could just like squeeze myself like she was just struggling, you know? So I'm excited. I hope you guys are ready for some new things, and I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.